This is DearMamaSal on a Friday afternoon. I'm still not very well at all. I'm dressed because I have to go to a meeting with my bank. I'm busy planning around retirement, and it's an important meeting that I have to get to, and so I got out of bed and got dressed and put some makeup on. Quite honestly, I thought it would make me feel a whole lot better, but apparently not. So this is just a quick update for you, and to let you know that I am not quite sure what's going on in my body, but something is. And also, I am aware that I need to keep my mind on the right track. So here's the interesting thing. I had a really great chat with Benji yesterday. Bless his heart. Probably one of the longest telephone calls I've ever had with Benji. That hasn't been to do with Down December or whatever. But along the way, and I listened a lot to what he was talking about, because he was talking about some really interesting things, but along the way he asked me some pretty important questions, which is the sort of thing that I love about Benji, because he does that for me. And basically, obviously, he's asking me whether I am stocking up on green juice, and the answer is actually no, because I've run out. So one of the things I'm going to do on my way back from this meeting is to pick up some green juice and to make sure that I'm taking more than my fair share of it. In other words, more than I would normally take, because I need my body to heal. And maybe a little less pasta, which is quick for me to make, and more green juice instead, which isn't what Benji said, but it's what he meant. What's your diet? Make sure you're feeding your body good stuff. So one of the things that I really love about my relationship with Benji is he will never ever tell me what to do, but he will always give me suggestions I may choose to pick up on if I want to, or if I'm ready to hear it. And he understands there's a difference. Sometimes we want to do something, but we're not ready to hear it, so our minds just cut it off. And I wonder how many of you have had that happen, where people have said to you, but I told you that a year ago, and you go, yeah, I think you did. How come I didn't hear it? And the reason was because you weren't ready to hear it. So I love the fact that Benji knows that's a human nature thing and appreciates it. So we had quite a chat around that, and it was interesting to me because we also talked about something that had happened about a year ago. And Benji doesn't give advice, and he also is very quick to thank you for any advice you might have given that has worked for him, all right, as I hope we all are. And it was really interesting because he got onto a subject that we'd been talking about maybe a year before. And he said to me, you know, it was really interesting when I asked you this question, whenever it was, your answer to me was, I don't want to discuss this one. I am not objective. And Benji did an incredible thing with that comment. He asked himself, what the heck is going on? Whenever I've asked for input from Sal, she's given it. Given me choices, given me ideas, given me, You know, why would she slam down on this one? Well, he's smart enough to know, because this had been in my reality and it didn't work very well. He's smart enough to know that. But also, he could hear in that how much it had affected me. I'll finish the story on the way back. Was the fact that I had chosen not to discuss it, told Benji this was really an important thing. And he's smart enough, bless his cotton socks, to know that if I hadn't discussed it, it means that I had a judgment about it. And I would rather not talk about it than judge him. And you know, that was so true. He worked that out, the little darling. And so he said that what he realized was, this has got to be important. And so he started to look at his life around this particular issue. And then he got it. He understood why I didn't want to talk about it. So why am I telling this story? I'm telling the story because sometimes it's the things that we don't talk about that perhaps are the most important ones, which is why I wanted to start DearMamaSal in the first place. That I believed, as you know, that I felt too many people don't talk about the real stuff. That we watch YouTube and we think life is about such superficial things, and it isn't. Life is not easy. It's not fair. We're not trained for it. It's life. We know more about, sometimes I think we know more about history and mathematics than we do about life. And I wonder how many of you agree that sometimes, you know, you wonder whether we shouldn't be teaching life lessons a lot more in schools rather than trigonometry or something. So, it was really interesting to me that in not answering one question, and I think it was I can't remember ever doing that to Benji before, where I said, I will not discuss this with you. I cannot be objective. Therefore, I cannot advise you on it. I mean, you can tell it was a serious issue for me. So I think it was that incredible that even in that, it actually turned out to be a learning lesson for somebody who really understood my thinking. I want to make sure you all understand that you never know the impact you will have on somebody's life. You may think that you're not having an impact on anybody's life, but you know you could be so wrong. The thing is, you might just never know. One word of kindness can cause the other person to maybe pay forward a word of kindness to somebody. One word of compassion maybe helps somebody else understand compassion. Think about that. And I do know one thing, that I don't have to be anything more than I am to be able to make a difference in the world. That's not arrogant or egotistical. It is reality. And if that is true for me, then it is also true for you. Warts and all, you don't have to be perfect. I've always said that. That was my main speech when I was a professional speaker. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to be who you are. And improve in areas that you can. And find parking. Breathe in. Breathe in a long way. All right, everybody, this is DearMamaSal. Wishing you all the best. Have impact. Bye-bye for now.